Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Hope you're all well. This is my first little excursion into live. I haven't scheduled anything. I've just done an improv thing. So today is all about marigolds and maybe another one because I've got 4 pots. I've got 3 marigolds. The varieties I'm growing. Hiya, Becky. You all right? I'm sowing. I've sowing marigolds. I haven't done flowers before. And the varieties are French marigold of Orange Boy. Good. Some lemon gem and French different variety Naughty Margarita. Have you been up to anything, Becky? Well, probably not today. Probably the weekend. Did you do anything the weekend? What day is it? I'm not even sure on what day it is actually. It is Sunday. Did you do anything yesterday? Hi, Steve. You alright? I've just done an impromptu. That's Steve from Digwell's Green Fingers. Hi, Steve. Yeah. Oh, you was at the Becky. You was at the allotment yesterday digging. Oh, I don't dig anymore. That's why I got the veggie pods. They're at waist height. I can just use a trowel. But yeah. Well, like I'm saying, it's just an impromptu chat. If anybody wants to know anything, you can ask questions, or I'm just back from the plot, picked up a few leeks for my soup. Well, I've just sown. I've been sowing all morning because I've been up since 4. And I've just been making videos to put out. I'm jealous of your veggie pods. They look amazing. Well, I was lucky enough. In my youth, I'm only young myself now, and I'm not. I know that sounds. I'm only 45 now, but when I was in my early 18s, late early 20s, I abused credit cards and banks to everything. So I've got some. How are you, Nick? Yeah, 4 a.m. does this. Anyway, I've got some PPI back, and that's how I've got the veggie pods. So don't think I'm wealthy or anything like that. I don't work. I'm through health. I sponge off the state. I know that's a bad thing. I'm sorry, I do. If I could get back to work, I would. But and if they would give me some work I can do at home, I would as well. Because I'm always sat down. I've not lost my mind. It's just that I can't walk properly. I can't, I mean. So John sends his regards. Oh, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I'm just planting out some flowers. I'm just doing this impromptu veggie pods raw. Mine broad beans are just about to flower. I know I haven't got nothing in there at the moment. As soon as my onions have got roots on, they're going in there. And same as my garlic, shallots, anything like that. Spring onions. I've just planted a load of salad, leeks, or sown, sorry, leeks. 10 different varieties of lettuce, and some sweet peas. Them videos are going to come up throughout next week. And today I am going to show, like I say, I'm sowing marigolds as we do it. Hi, Ron. How you doing? Yeah, I'm. I love. God, you've got to check out Ron's. Oh, you probably already are, but Ron, I'm in awe of your growing space. You know, you're just brilliant because it's just people who say you can't grow anything. because they haven't got a garden. You haven't even got, you're growing on a car park. It's not rocket science. As long as you've got a bucket or a container, you can grow anything anywhere. So Ron, I admire you, mate. I'm telling you. Yeah. No worries, Nick. I hope you have a good day on the allotment, and say your hello to John for me. And I'll see you again soon. Yeah, well, that was the first one. The seeds actually just look like marigold seeds. How can I explain it? They look like them things you blow away when they all dry up, and just before they open up. Yeah, you can just before the. See you, Steve. Yeah, not a problem. Catch you later. They are like sticks with little fluffy ends, but all dried up. That's what they look like to me. I'm just covering them up. I've lightly broadcast them. I'm just covering up dandelions. That's what. Thanks, Becky. They look like dried up dandelions, and if you pull them out before they actually open up and blow away, they look like them to me. Just so yeah, that's what I'm doing. What's anybody else doing? I know you must be all at your allotments. Who else have I missed anybody? No. Well, to be fair, this is what I'm doing as well is I'm labeling them, but I'm writing on the pot the number and then writing them in my diary. This is number 47. So what I'm doing is I've got a permanent chalk pen on the pots I can write on, and just 47 and 47 all the way round, so I can't miss it. And then the next one will be 48. Okay then, Becky. I hope you get something good from the garden centre. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Well, like I say, it's Sunday. I'm sure I don't go by days of the week. I go by good days and bad days, me. So I didn't even know it was the weekend. Oh, you're staying for a bit, but you've got to go in yeah. Yeah, so that's the second one. Which one am I going to choose? But has anybody got a question, or is Steve, are you still there? If you are, mate, have you cooked anything lately? And if you're not, why haven't you been videoing it? So no, he's obviously gone. So yeah, I'll try and show you these seeds as they fall out. That's what they look like to me. You all know what a magnet. Well, I don't. This is the first time I've ever seen them, so I'm like a kid in a candy store. They've got like a stick, and then they've got little. They look like them little drumsticks where the feathers, the feather edge drumsticks. To be fair, no, I'm just growing them for the thing. But yeah, are they? Do they keep the pests away? Well, I'll plant some magnolias around my tomatoes. Thank you, Becky, for the tip. I will do that. I will actually write that down. That's a good. Good. I'll remember. Remember that. So 47. Let me write down. Right. What I'm doing here, I'm keeping a little. I don't know if you can remember seeing my. This is a page out of my diary. And every time I write a number down, I write it in the diary, so I can revert back to it and say what the actual plant was. It saves on these plastic. I haven't bought any new. I'm just using up old, but it saves on these plastic leaves. Like the first one was this one. I'm sure it was. Yeah, it was the marigold. Marigold lemon gem. 48 was that one. And it was the naughty margarita. So that's 2. And then the third one is Orange Boy, which is that one. It's been. What I'm going to have to do is get some more information, so it's not less boring for you. So, what is people? If you could name one thing out of everything you grow, what would it be? What is your? You didn't even have to. It's not for eating, not for thing. What is your one thing you like growing out of everything you do? I tell you what I like doing is growing the fruit and the fruit. Like I'm into getting. I've got fig trees. I've got 3 fig trees now. One that I've had since 4 years. One I bought this year and one I bought last year. And I've only ever had picked off was 4 figs. Last year's figs. I missed the first lot of figs, and then the second lot of figs didn't come to maturity. So I've only ever. So what is everybody's listening from East Java, Indonesia? It's evening here and pouring of rain. Oh wow! No, this is we've got. I haven't got blue skies like yesterday. It's dark and grey, but it's not raining. What's the weather like, everybody else? Oh, Becky. You're addicted to getting fruit trees as well. I haven't got the space. I've got 4 outside, 8 outside. I've just got Adam to plant another fig, another apple, a pear, and a plum. Yesterday, he's done a passion fruit yesterday. Yeah, I get one little space. Like I don't know if you've seen my video about my shed getting cut down, and I'm filling it up before I even it's absolutely terrible, Ron. Here in sunny. intervals. Yeah, we like I say, it's sunny. It's not going to rain. It's just when it's the whole sky is full. It's just full of clouds. It's sunny. I was out in the. I had my best night's sleep last night. I was in the garden most of the day, sat down and watching Adam do all most of the work. But in the morning, I did a filming stuff, and before Adam got there, and then we sorted out all the stuff to go back in the shed and sort out the greenhouse. And I got absolutely knackered, so I went to bed about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I fell asleep about 8, and normally I'm up every hour, every 2 hours, and just sat at the edge of the bed, and 4 o'clock this morning, I woke up and I thought, oh, what time is it? And and I've been up ever since, but it's been I'm wide awake, so it's been good. So that's the three. That is the 3 marigolds. I've got one more pot left. What thinks? What? Oh, look, let me get my words out. Right. So that's the 3 marigolds. I've got one more pot left. I've got some lupins. I've got loads of stuff to do, but these are the ones I've chose. Excuse me. I've got particularly because I've got lupins and I've got pansies. Lupins you can start in January. Pansies in February. So I've got to choose. I'm glad you say lupins, because actually now I've seen a January, I'm going to actually sow some lupins. You can sow the lupins from January to July. I actually saw lupins for the first time on what's his name? Adam from not Adam? Oh, what's his name? Allotment Grow How. Is it Adam? Yeah, it is Adam. It is Adam. Adam from Allotment Grow How. He grew them over 2 years. They grew the 1 year and then they flowered the year after. Is that the case? Sow indoors, thinly in a tray of compost with fine layer. Compost gently, moist cover, blah blah glass, la la la. Propagate 28 days. Growing on, remove cover. Seedlings appear, blah blah. Spread them out. Yeah, I'm just gonna. So I have got loads of pots in I have got loads of pots in the shed, and I've got loads of trays in the shed. So I've got people give me them now around here where I live now. Like they're all the old people's homes. I live in a bungalow. You have to be over 55 or someone who's seriously ill. But yeah, I got the ill bit because I've got a very low immunity system. And and I can get ill very quickly. I can go downhill fast. As you can see, I see this bruise here. It's I have regular blood tests every month. I don't even have to phone up. They do all that. They come I think it's every 2 weeks or every month. There's another one on that side. All these marks on my skin is because of my low blood count. I don't. An average male has like a 12 or 13 count, and you need that for your oxygen, your organs to stay alive and to work. And my lowest was 4. And I was seriously ill. I was stuck on the sofa. I couldn't even get up. I know when you got no energy. Well, this was like I couldn't even lift my arm off the sofa to pick up the phone. So yeah, that was the time I was in hospital for 2 months. I'm laughing about it now because I can. You know what I mean? If you didn't laugh, you'd cry. But yeah, all my organs started shutting down, and the only reason why, I left my curtains open, and for the whole week, the old dears was walking up and down, thinking, and then waving and saying hello, and I weren't waving back at them. Well, they must have thought I was being really obnoxious, but I couldn't raise my arms to wave back and get any help. And then my friend, my old neighbour who used to, well, he's not a friend, he was an old neighbour. His mum lives up here, up the road. Walked past. He used to terrorise me a bit, but uh, he walked past, saw me, knocked on the window. He wanted to apologise for everything he did when I lived down in somewhere else down the road before I moved here. And he looked at me, and he saw I was ill, and he come around the back and broke in the back door and found the ambulance. And we've become friends now. I've got to say, he apologised for everything he did back in the day, and but yeah, ever since then, my blood count's not. It goes up to about 9, 10 at the most. So I get about 10 minutes of good walking about, and that's not because of my size. My size is really because I'm not walking about. I have got an eating disorder as well. I do overeat, but the reason why I'm this big is because of not doing the exercise, and that's not because I'm not doing it on purpose. It's because I'm not doing any exercise. I'm not burning anything off at all. But it's because I ain't got the energy. And it's what was that? Orange boy. And then the looping is 50. Loop, no, it's LUPIN. But yeah, hiya John, all right? How are you today? Are you at the allotment, or are you at home, or are you planning, or have you come back from the allotment? Did you go to the allotment yesterday? What does Becky say? It sounds scary. It was actually. It's good that you can laugh. Yeah, well, if you didn't laugh. Yeah. Oh. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, like I say, doing good thing. Thanks off to the allotment in a bit. Yeah. Yeah. We're here planting away. I'm just done some marigolds, and I'm just doing some lupins. This morning I've been up since 4. I've got some leeks in. I've got 10 different varieties of lettuce. I've got some sweet peas. I've got some cucumbers, some gherkins, and I've even got a stuffed gherkin where you cut it in half, you peel all the seeds and the waste out, and then you fill it with. No, these are. I'm not doing loads. I know I can't help myself. What I'm doing, I'm gonna any waste, not waste. I'm only gonna plant out what I know I'm gonna eat. And then the rest is gonna go. I've got a local community garden up the road. I've got a local community garden up the road, and I'm gonna donate it to them. Or because there's only 4 or 5 who what go up there, and they can't always sow the seeds because people break into their greenhouses and nick them. Well, this stuff variety of thing, I got it from Nick. Oh, what's his name? Nathan is his son. Neil is the dad. On Grandad's Allotment, if you contact Neil at Grandad's Allotment, he's got he's got hundreds of seeds. He might have a few left. They're stuff and cucumber. They're absolutely good. Well, apparently you stuff them with meat and cheese and stuff like that. Roast them in the oven. I'm planning to stuff mine with minced beef and do like a little ragu sauce, and then roast it in the oven in the sauce, like and then like little marrows they are, but they're only like bite size. Cut them in half. And you cut them in half, you get all the bits out, and I'm going to roast up. I'll do this, especially when this stuffed cucumber. I will do more videos this year, but I'm going to roast it in an oven, and oi oi, and I'll roast it in a ragu, and it'd be really nice with just some plain boiled potatoes and a bit of Savoy cabbage, and then this cucumber and the ragu drizzled on. Oh, my mouth's watering. You can see why lupins what the mixed. That was number 50. But I'm gonna try and get some more. I've got this big table here. I can show you a lot of things actually. Because I've got a little stove I can bring in here. Because I can't stand at on the kitchen counters, stand up for very long, and the videos just you can't do it. So I'm going to sit in my chair and I'll bring all my stuff here. I've got like a halogen thing, and I've got halogen hob thing I can bring in, and I've got a halogen oven type of thing, and I've got stuff like that. I can slow cookers. So I can do a lot more cooking videos this year. I'm going to do a lot more jams and chutneys, a little bit more into techniques as well. I found my chef knives, which I used to be a chef, by the way. I can go into some techniques. Not that I'm a good chef. I call myself a cook rather than a chef. My chef at college who taught me is a chef. I'm a cook. Chief cook and bottle washer, that's what I so but yeah. Right, so that was the lupins done. And what time is it? It's a half an hour. What is the difference between a chef and a cook? Nothing. Yeah, chef and a cook. There's nothing between a chef and a cook. A chef is an ignorant you know, I don't want to. I don't want to. That's bad to say. Most people who cook, there's bad chefs and there's bad cooks. Chef and a cook's the same thing. A chef, people think you've got to go to college to be a chef. I went to 3 years at college, and I've lost. If you don't use it, you lose it. I've probably forgotten all what I've learned at college. My sort of cooking. Well, I was the head chef at Worcester Rugby for 4 years, and my sort of cooking is rugby cooking. Pub grub, really like casseroles, curries, chilies, really hearty. Stick to your ribs. Family service in big bowls, steaming bowls of veg with melted butter and parsley in the centre of the table. A big, cravat. What do you call it? See, I like I say, I've just a big bowl of, braised beef, whole button onions and button mushrooms, roasted off. But a whole bottle of red wine between 10 people, all just roasted in the oven, hearty, real food I call it. Yeah, real hearty, good food. Yeah, it is that. And chefs, this poncy little thing where you go into a restaurant and you get one stick of celery and a sliver of paste, which is meant to be mashed potato, and a little crouton of whatever. That's not my sort of thing, and I'm not knocking them because when you're a chef, when you're a cook and a chef, it's not just your college. You've got to try. Like I say, I started chefing when I was at school. I started pot washing for my brother. He was a chef, and I started pot washing for my brother, and we didn't get on. And we used to have fights in the kitchen. He used to chuck knives at me. He cut my nose open one day, really seriously bad. He was bleeding, and and I left. I walked out, but I didn't just walk out. I walked straight through the restaurant, covered in blood. But no, I worked at it. I pot washed for 5 years, and at different places before the chef said, "Look, we need someone on the starters." And I started on the just prepping veg, and then and get demoted because I didn't turn a potato properly. You know what I mean? You barreled in your potatoes, but it's all good. On the job training. You don't need qualifications to be a chef. You know what I mean? As long as you get in there and on the job training, or just do it in home and just read books, go through and everything. See you, Becky. Have a good time. Yeah, just like I say, I and it's all that hearty. I worked my way up through the pubs, different restaurants. So I left school, went into carpentry, went to college to do carpentry. I called myself. I wasn't really a first fix or second fix. I was more garden carpentry, like bird boxes and planters and wheelbarrow, wishing wells where you can make just rustic stuff, rustic. Yeah, and then I went to a. You remember YTS? I don't know if you remember YTS, and the older us older people would remember YTS. Must have been about I was 16, 18. It's been 16 and 18. Did YTS youth training scheme, and oh yeah, I know, yeah. I did a training scheme for, and I went to a caravan repair place. I was there for 2 years repairing caravans, and all there was an inch thick, and you had the aluminium outside, you had the wooden timbers and all the bracings, and then you had a thin bit of either ply or that fibre board with Velcro or whatever vinyl on it. And I learned more there than I did at college. I left that and went to a training scheme called CAP, and that was at Worcester, in Worcestershire. And that was I met the woman who did the lunches there, and she, she said, and she, I mean, she was just a mother who was a good. She's like I say, she could cook, she could out cook. Her food was absolutely gorgeous, and she said, "Look, it's probably to go to college for chefing, start in the pubs," which that's what I did, and so yeah, I spent years from 80, and this thing. Then I was at I haven't had to apply for a job because where I was, the chefs left and moved on, and new chefs came, and I became the head chef at that place. Then I moved on to a place, and then I've met people I've worked with. It's funny because back in 19 95, 96, I found a job at a pub where I worked as pot washer for the chef at another place, and he left and he was the head chef at this place. I didn't know he worked there. I just went in for an interview and he said, "Oh, you finally got the job." And then he left at this place and I became the head chef there with over the couple of years kind of working the way through. And anyway, I eventually got to work. I was the pie factory guy in Worcester Rugby Club, Premiership team they were at the time in 2000. And yeah, I was basically solely there for the match days, doing pie, mash, and mushy peas. And we did like 7 varieties of different pies, like fluffy pastry, flaky pastry, puff pastry. Then we did suet pies. We had a similar scheme when YTS stopped. So I've got people in the way. I went to it's like all the notifications have just come up and they're in the way of the footage. I can't see there. I went to agricultural college, just went into the forces, still did hand bashing. My dad was in the in the army catering corps. I homestead in the Highlands. How you doing? Sorry, I've forgotten your name. Yeah. Anyway, my dad was a chef in the army, and his motto was like I say, one of the mottos he used when he was, because like I say, when he started, when you did something, his chef in the army, if he did something wrong, he made him go out and paint stuff. And he said, "What do you want me to paint?" He said, "If it moves, salute it. If it don't move, paint it." So he had to go out and paint stuff when he did something wrong, and he soon learned not to do stuff wrong. And but yeah, what was that? Hats off to him. I always feel when they're hard working. IOACS. Yeah, it's still the same today. Paint the grass. Yeah, he used to have to paint the stones around the grass. He weren't allowed on the grass. He weren't good enough for the grass. If they stepped on the grass, apparently the boss, I don't know what they used to call it, I can't remember what he used to say, used to shout down, and then you get even more trouble. So they used to paint the stones around the grass. He was allowed to do that. But yeah, I didn't think I'd get into cooking. I wanted to be a carpenter when I was little. Always did, but I was rubbish at it. As you can see with my first raised beds. I'm good at putting a nail into a piece of wood and screwing a piece of wood and cutting it. I can do that, but I'm not really a finishing, not really a finishing. I can do framing in. I can do first fix, probably first fix and second fix carpentry in a house building. But for cabinet making, I couldn't. I wasn't good enough because I couldn't get that fresh crisp line. Where I am up to. I'm only a little bit of background. I grew up in a family of four lads. My mum and dad. My dad was in the army. My mum was a wedding cake maker in Northfield, and my dad lived in Sally Oak. They met. My dad went into the army, and he started in chefing in the army, and he started what is known now as youth service. Like clubs for the kids who was in the for the pet for the kids who was the parents was in the army, and they had children, and he ran the local youth centre and stuff like that. He started doing that voluntary in the army, and so he used to cook for them for as well there and stuff like that, and so we've always had to do lots of different things because he used to, even when he come out of the army, he went into the youth service. So when they took groups of kids away, we had to cook their meals, breakfast, lunches, teas, look after them, and stuff like that. Anyway, so from an early age, we learned how to cook. We didn't get any pocket money when we was kids unless we got jobs, washing up, tidying up, cooking, cleaning, and people think, whoa, but that's what you did. I'm only 45. I'm not being funny. There's people out there who know this, and I'm not. I mean, you didn't get pocket money. If you said I want, I want. The answer you got back was I want, don't get. Yeah, you know, and it was can I have or would any chance of? And he used to say, well, do your jobs, and we did it. And that's where I've always worked, and up until I became ill, I've always worked, either in chefing, in carpentry, I actually did a bit of youth service myself, until it all changed and got. I used to be a DJ. I weren't very good at being a DJ. I had all the stuff, and I used more of a roadie. Marvelous. I have to wait it out. We mostly have ice, snow. Yeah, we've been sowing this morning. I've just sown some lupins, marigolds, some sweet peas. I've done some leeks, some lettuce, some cucumbers, pickling cucumbers, salad cucumbers, and stuffing cucumbers. So yeah, I'm sorry for these people in America and other places where we got snow. We didn't get snow here. We had one day where a snowflake hit, and we all went, "Hooray! It's snowing!" It stopped. It was cold. It gets cold here. I live in Droitwich, Worcestershire, about 15 miles, 20 miles out of Birmingham, 15 miles out of Worcester. So yeah, and we're in the dip. So the weather gets over the Lickies and down past the Malvern Hills, or it goes over Brent Hills and down Cleet Hills, or over Clent Hills and down Brent Hills. There's 4 hills around us. So you got the Malverns, which is Worcester way, Malvern, Hereford. That way you got the Licky End and Licky Hill going into Birmingham way. So the weather hits Licky End Hill, and then comes over up the hill, misses us because we're too young in the valley, and then down the Malvern. So they get more worse weather, and the same with Brent and Cleet and stuff like that. So we miss a lot of. I used to go to the Licky Hill a lot as a kid here. Well, my family's from originally from Northfield and Sally Oak and that area. I've got a lot of people in Redditch, and I've got a lot of family in Rubery, Redditch, Bromsgrove, stuff that area. So yeah, I know all that area quite well. Same here. Aubergines this year too. Fingers crossed. Eggplants. I miss some. Sorry about. I used to get 10p. Oh, 10p a week. I'm not being funny. I said to my dad once. I said, Dad, can I have 50p? He said, 40p. What do you want 30p for? I've only got 20 years, 10. And then he used to say, bring me some change. And then you used to take the 10p and you think, well, okay then, Dad, thanks very much. But you did that back then because he had 4 lads to bring up, and we was brought up. I had hand-me-downs. So, my older brothers, I was the youngest of 4. So I had hand-me-downs until I outgrew my brothers, say. And, I think today's kids, with all this technology and phones, we didn't have a pet. We had a pay phone in our house. We had a box on the wall. The phone had a key. And if my mum and dad wanted to make a phone call, they turned the key. Yeah, and they turned the key, and it was 3 calls. When they finished their phone calls, they turned the key, and we had to pay for a phone call. Yeah, and then we would have to then work, collect our pennies and money up, and then if we wanted to make a phone call, whatever money we had, we made the phone call. But at the end of the day, I managed my account. These people who I've got no debt. They learn value of money. I can save my own money, save me money, and buy what I want, whatever. So it didn't hurt that. The kids nowadays, they get hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of toys and equipment. Christmas and birthday, we had £50 spent on us at Christmas, and if we spent all that, we didn't get anything for birthdays. So what we did was spent £30 at Christmas and £20 at birthdays. But you did, before you say, that was a lot of money. It wasn't actually money. It was a catalogue, and it was you got the big J.D. Williams or Littlewoods or whatever it was. That people who would allow my mum to have a catalogue, and it was you open it up, and you ordered it 2 years in advance. So I wanted a game called Game for Life, and Go for Broke, and Monopoly and stuff like that. And I didn't get that until I wanted another game, or I was onto, I wanted a bike, a rally bike. But I didn't get a rally bike. I got a bike called BMX 2000 in the 80s. This was in the 80s, and it was called BMX 2000. You know what I mean? You didn't get what you wanted, but you got near what you wanted. So but it was all great. It was all life learning. These people today don't know they've been born. Anyway, get back onto seeds and growing. you could tap out. You could tap out the number. What's that? Thumbs up to you, Simon. Looks like your light is flickering behind. Oh yeah, it's the. Sorry about that. I'll. I think it's this camera. I'm using the camera off me. That's better. I'm using the camera off me computer, so on the lock phone, Simon. Oh yeah, yeah. You can. If you, there was a number you could put in as well. What's that? A sub to. I think I've got. Hey CB, all right. Yeah. What flowers do I like the most? To be fair, I don't know. To be fair, because I don't grow flowers more often. I've got. What I like lupins, and I like sunflowers, and I'm trying to get rid of this one. Doesn't let me. CB. How is everyone doing this morning? Brilliant. Good. I think I've got someone messing about at the moment. Yeah. I think I've got a troll which I can't get rid of. Let me. Sorry about this. I'm just trying to. I'm missing a load of people because I've got this stupid troll person doing. Anyway, I'm just gonna have to ignore him. Right, let's get back onto the garden anyway. So I've just done some lupins and I've just done some marigolds. The question was, what flowers do I like? I like sunflowers. I grew a lot of sunflowers last year. I like lupins. I've seen the lupins. To be fair, I like easy stuff. I like spring bulbs and I like bluebells and snowdrops and stuff like that because you put the bulb in, and you just leave it. You know what I mean? I've just planted in some more summer bulbs. Well, I haven't. I've got Adam. Let me just. No, it won't let me. See you, Jonathan. Yeah. I'm lost track here. Yeah. Flowers. I've just done a load of summer flowering bulbs. Adam planted them out for me. So yeah. Anyway, I've been on here nearly an hour now, and Yeah, I need to find. I have. It's my first time CB on. Um. This is my first time doing a live show. I will have to find them out. How to do admins and stuff like that. I'm not that technically minded. But yeah, it's coming up to the hour. I want to thank everybody who's joined me on this my first live show. It was about magnolias and growing. It turned into a bit of, and then just a garden chat, but it turned into a bit of my background and stuff like that. But that's how live shows go. I want to say thank you for joining me, and I wish you all the best for this Sunday, and I hope everybody has a good week. What's it say there? Click on the three dots on the right hand side of the person want to make admin, and they should give you an option. Yeah, well, I've just tried to click on the three dots of the people. Um, anyway, I'll do that next time. I want to wish everybody um, a good rest of Sunday. Here it's 12:25 in the afternoon. I'm sure that's first thing in the morning over there in America. Thanks for joining in. What I'll do, I'll schedule it for next one a bit later to at least let you get up and have your breakfast and your morning coffees. And my next one, what I'll do is do it early afternoon. So thanks very much, and bye bye for now.